So last week, you were asked to interview some students about where the stuff of wood comes from. Well, let's see how your interviews compared with those done by the Harvard group. They went out and asked the same questions of some fourth graders here in the area. Let's take a look now and see what kind of responses they got.
Have you ever seen one of these before?
Yeah.
You know what it is?
It's those things when they get green, you can put them on your nose.
It's a seed. Do you know what tree it's from?
No.
It's a maple seed. Okay. And this is a baby maple tree. Yeah, you got it. How do you think we got that out of this?
Well, I think you planted what these called?
Seeds.
I think you planted the seed into the ground, and then you put water on them, and then when the sun comes, and you wait a while, that they'll grow into that, and then soon, when this gets a whole lot, then you'll get that.
Okay. Now, where do you think the stuff in that log came from?
The rain and the sun. Water. And they need sun. Well, there was sun, water, and damp soil. So it has to be damp. Water, soil, seed, or dirt. And they take the rays from the sun.
What do they do with the rays from the sun?
Well, it helps them grow because it gives them a lot of energy.
What do they do with the energy?
Well, when you give them water, the roots take it in, and then it helps it grow. Like people, when they eat food, if they don't have food, then they can die. So they need sun or else they'll die.
It's sort of like a human. If it doesn't get water or air, it'll die. I think you got many life. Nature.
I don't know what your children's responses were when you asked them questions, but these children have a lot of great ideas about, where trees come from. They mention soil, they mention sunlight, they mention water, but they don't mention air. Wood is made from air.
And it isn't just fourth graders, Last spring, the Harvard team went out and looked at interviewed graduates at MIT and Harvard. And some of these graduates, in fact, were science majors. 21 were interviewed, and it turned out not one said that wood is made of air. In fact, their answers are not very much different from those given by fourth graders. So let's take a look now and see what those marvelous graduates look like.
Here's a seed.
Okay.
Okay? Now hold on to that for a second.
Okay.
Imagine that I planted that in the ground.
Okay.
And a tree grew. All right? And here is a piece of that tree.
Sure.
Okay? Now, where did all that stuff come from?
Well, you mean where did the mass come from? The added mass. This is now a much larger, heavier tree, and this is a very small seed. The mass came from a lot of things, I guess. I guess from water that is sucked up from the ground. I would guess from minerals that is sucked up from the ground. This came from the ground, the air, water. All of it came together and grew very slowly.
Water, light, soil.
I guess there's I think it's sort of the seed, and I'm not sure how it's but it grows into a tree, it gets nutrients from the soil.
These nutrients distribute material just as humans go from human to Adam.
Essentially the mass for this. Nutrients from the soil, essentially. Seems though they don't consume food like we do. I guess the mass came from energy that it took from the sun and turned into mass in some way using what we commonly call photosynthesis. And yeah, that's probably all that it got.
Now, what would you say to someone who said to you that the weight of the tree is mostly from the carbon dioxide in the air?
obviously carbon dioxide is intimately involved in photosynthesis. I'd say carbon is not much of a building block from what I know of biochemistry.
Carbon dioxide helps trees to grow, sort of, and get. I mean, that's how they get. They photosynthesize, and that's how they grow, and they get leaves and stuff like that. But I mean, I wouldn't say that it's made up, like physically made up of carbon dioxide.
I don't know. I'm trying to think how what the sort of photosynthetic version of the electron transport chain is, but I suppose some of it could be used could come from carbon dioxide as an initial building block. Sure.
What would you say to someone who told you that the weight of the tree came mostly from the carbon dioxide in the air?
So that's very disturbing, and wonder how that could happen.